Gerhard Ackerman has been found guilty of more than 700 counts, including rape and attempted murder. He ran a sex trafficking ring. He lured teenagers aged between 14 and 16 to perform sexual acts on him and his clients. Judgment was handed down in the Johannesburg High Court today. That's where we find Newzroom Afrika's Zikhona Tshona with a debrief of events as they happened in court. Good afternoon, Zikhona.
Good afternoon, Dudu. So the presiding judge went through various statements made by victims of Gerhard Ackerman as well as his clients, very graphic details coming out of those statements, the victims rather detailing how they were lured by Ackerman through various social media networks such as Facebook as well as others, and he promised them jobs in his massage business, and that's where the sexual acts were conducted. Some of the statements also detail how Ackerman trained these minors how to take videos of themselves naked, and also trained them on how to perform sexual acts on himself as well as his clients. But to talk to me more about today's judgments is the NPA. You must be quite pleased with today's judgment.
Indeed, yes, Zikhona, it was a remarkable judgment. One that speaks for the remaining children that couldn't come to court due to various reasons. Obviously, we understand that some of them were traumatized, and on the last minute they decided that they won't be able to face Mr. Ackerman in court. But credit must go to those 11 boys that stood up against him and wanted to have their day in court. And indeed, today, we believe that they'll have closure wherever they are, knowing that they've done their best to be the voice of those ones who were voiceless and couldn't come and tell their ordeal in court.
The big ones being the rape as well as attempted murder verdict. You must be quite pleased with that, given that it's come through evidence that you brought before court. Sentencing, what are you hoping for?
We will be arguing for a life imprisonment term. Well, the law also dictates that the accused should be sentenced to life imprisonment terms, but obviously we are in the hands of the court. But as you have indicated, yes, we commend Advocate Valencia Dube and her team, Captain Banks and Warrant Officer Pelsa, who worked closely with her since 2021, because remember that these crimes were also committed to children from various provinces. And as the prosecution, we had then to centralize all the cases and ensure that the accused meets his day in court.
Right, thank you so much. That's Pindim Janondwana, who is the spokesperson for the NPA here in Gauteng. Now, Ackerman, the judge also noted that he worked with a Paul Kennedy who was HIV positive, and he committed suicide after his arrest. And the judge says just because he committed suicide for the victims, it does not mean that it can't be noted before this court that he worked with Ackerman in committing these crimes. Now, the matter has been postponed to the 18th of July. Ackerman's legal team says they want to bring a psychiatrist to argue and mitigate before this court as to why his sentence can be reduced, given the fact that he's been found guilty of so many charges. But the judge was very firm in saying that this is a long postponement, and if that psychologist is not before this court on the 18th, this matter will proceed. The judge also noted that Ackerman seems to be very arrogant, given the fact that in his previous court appearance, which was last week, he spoke to various media houses and maintained that he was innocent and that he did nothing wrong, and that he will contest whatever findings against him in a higher court.
Zikhona Tshona, thank you very much for that report.